Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, February 23rd. I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. A somber and gloomy day in Prince George's County as a slain police officer is laid to rest days after he was shot and killed. Coming to the aid of a neighbor, Mujahid Ramadan is remembered as a hero. His funeral was held at the Diyanet Center in Lanham this afternoon. Countless officers and community leaders came out to pay their respects.
The nation's mosque, also known as Masjid Muhammad.
This one we call Mujahid. This name, one striving and struggling to bring out the best in himself. This is the Mujahid, the one who's struggling in the cause of good. Any cause of good is the cause of God. And that's one of the things that was said about our dear brother, this husband, this father, is that he was a good man.
Mujahid Ramadan lived a consequential life. And in sacrificing himself to save another, he died a consequential death.
My father was in his house just relaxing, and he heard a knock at the door. He could have stayed in his bed, but he didn't. You know, without hesitation, my dad went out there to assist that young lady. He didn't know that, he was going to get shot 5 times. He protected that lady, and it cost him his life.
Clearly very emotional service. Ramadan was 51 years old. He leaves behind a wife and 4 children. The funeral procession for Officer Ramadan arrived at the Diyanet Center in Lanham at 11:30 this morning. This was a scene as the Herson family arrived at the mosque. Ramadan was a devout Muslim, and the service relatively brief outside of the mosque. While there were police from across the region, there wasn't that presence of people from around the state as well. The list of speakers included 2 imams, along with the police chief, Hank Stawinski, and his son.
When I saw him, was helping with parking, especially on the Friday prayer services. Him and other officers would help with that too. He was very well liked, and just hearing other people's stories about him, a strong family man, recently married not too many years ago. So it's a tragic loss for the community.
I just think it's very devastating that something like this would happen, and in today's time. But as you know, these kind of things do tend to happen. I just think that as a community, we need to come together more, love one another more, support one another more. So those are really my thoughts on it.
Service, the procession left the center and went to Fort Lincoln Cemetery in Brentwood for the burial. President Trump embraces the NRA's position to arm highly trained teachers at schools to prevent mass shootings. Trump says that armed teachers should receive extra pay as an incentive, and estimates that 10 to 40% of school employees would be qualified to handle a weapon. The comments were criticized by many at a Howard County high school today, where Senator Ben Cardin discussed gun safety reforms. Cardin joined students and educators at Wild Lake High School, whose community has recently been touched by gun violence.
We should not be arming our teachers. We should not be doing that. It's extremely difficult. Violence with violence is not the solution to this. We need to be providing more training to mental health issues, proactive responses to this matter, and making certain that our students are equipped to have vehicles of communication to them so we can respond in that way. I'm extremely opposed to providing weapons to our teachers.
We want action. And we know there's no simple answer to this problem. We understand that. But we need to show progress. And gun safety, common sense gun safety legislation is showing progress. There is no reason why we shouldn't have comprehensive background checks. There's no reason why we should have private ownership of assault-type weapons or military-style weapons or capacity magazines. Let's at least pass those bills.
Congress is currently considering several gun safety proposals. Those include strengthening background checks, banning assault weapons, and outlawing bump stocks and similar technologies. In light of the tragic shooting in Florida, an Anne Arundel County sheriff is calling for more extreme safety measures. Sheriff Ron Bateman suggests that installation of metal detectors, x-ray machines, and bulletproof doors in all county schools. But some school officials say the measures would make students feel more uncomfortable than safe. Safety measures already in place at Anne Arundel County Schools include ID checkpoints, safety drills, and video security cameras.